You said the buck stops with you. Do you bear any responsibility for the way that things have unfolded in the last 2 weeks?
The continuing coverage of the Biden administration disaster report, shit just keeps hitting the fan week after week, folks. You know, we thought Biden trying to get us out of Afghanistan was going to be the biggest, kerfuffle of this whole shindig. Couldn't be further from the truth. We had 2 suicide bombers this week, 13 Americans dead, over 100 Afghans dead, and that put Biden in a unique situation. He had 2 choices, folks. Either he could become more aggressive, right? Either he goes full out, bombing shit, blah, 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 traditional American style, or he pulls back and just essentially takes it and goes more passive. Either decision would have been awful. He chose the first one. We just sent a drone to kill a ISIS-K terrorist, and he was under the guise that he was potentially planning a future terrorist attack. Now,
and I don't know where you're going with this, but apparently he also gave out the names of like Afghan allies and stuff.
Well, that's where I'm going. That's where I'm going.
You can't get more fucked up than this.
Yeah. So we, as Americans, our official provided the Taliban with names of Americans and Afghan allies to evacuate. Now, I guess we're just ignorant, but at this point, I think we're just stupid because our reasoning was, we got, this is a list of people we got to get, help us get them. But guess what? The Taliban controls Afghanistan now. They have the list. They even have biometric scanning.
It's like a hit list.
Mm-hmm. You want to go into this, Dave?
Yes, actually. The Politico, right here from Politico. U.S. officials provide Taliban with names of Americans, Afghan allies to evacuate. Yeah, this is going to turn out well. U.S. officials in Kabul gave the Taliban a list of names of American citizens, green card holders, and Afghan allies to grant entry into the militant-controlled outer perimeter of the city's airport. A choice that's prompted outrage behind the scenes from lawmakers and military officials. Don't say.
I just don't understand why. What do you mean? Now,
how could this possibly be a bad thing?
Exactly what happened with all the equipment, because the equipment that was left there was left for the Afghan army. We just didn't really leave it. It was left for the Afghan army. Well, guess what? The Afghan army, the moment the Taliban came in and said, whoa, hey, guys, sorry, here, just take our guns. Now it's the Taliban's. And the same thing is happening with this list.
Right, because apparently we the Afghan army was basically being paid by us, and we kind of stopped paying them.
So they're going to repo the car.
At that point, you're just kind of like, fuck it, I'm done, I'm out of here.
Yeah, because why would you fight for this bullshit? They didn't care. They gave up real fast.
I would have loaded up on as much gasoline and the biggest Humvee and all the guns I could have and headed for the Indian border. That would have been if I'm an Afghan person and don't want to be there under the Taliban. Yeah. That would have been my plan. That's what I couldn't understand. It's like they had access to these items and these things. They had the Humvees and the guns and all this shit.
Blackhawks.
And I get that maybe they ran out of bullets. I don't know.
I don't.
But as soon as my leader, because apparently some of the leaders of the Afghan people split, mm-hmm. Once we shut the lights off, they all went, fuck it, we're out of here.
Scatter like cockroaches.
I would have been like, well, all right, let me get as much gas as I can and load this fucking Humvee up. Who's coming with me? Mm-hmm. But I guess they got families and, they just can't up and. Well, you could have gone and gotten your family. You could have gotten out of the country pretty easy, I think, in a Humvee.
At this point, Biden's paying for the consequences of his action about his poor withdrawal from Afghanistan. He could have done it so much smarter. What you do, number one, okay, you're in a country, a foreign country, and things are going well. You had a war. It's time to get out, right? You have. Army personnel, military personnel, and civilians. You get the civilians out first.
Really?
Duh, fucking duh.
Really?
That is, yeah.
No, is that how you do it?
I think I read about that somewhere, Dave. I think I read it on Facebook. Yeah, you get the fucking civilians out first, and you get them out slow to not rustle everybody up in a panic. You don't run through the street say, guys, We got to get out of here, man.
So
No.
what you're saying is women and children first? See,
It's the classic Titanic principle.
yeah, well, I watched that Titanic movie, and I kept thinking as I'm watching the ship go down, I'm going, I'd be fucking kicking them women and children out of that boat. Give me a seat.
Get out of here, bitch.
That's just me.
But yeah, so you get the women and children out first in a slow, consistent manner, right? You don't want to alert anybody of anything crazy, right? And then you start slowly moving the military out with the equipment. You can't just leave it, Joe. Because guess what? You left it, and now you're paying the consequences with American and Afghan lives. And it's ridiculous.
I would absolutely love one of those Humvees. I've already said that before, but
that must mean you really like it.
I do. It's a big gas guzzling armored thing. How cool would that be? When the world comes to an end, that's what I want. But I don't know. Anyway, so we've got this issue going on here. We put out a death list for everybody, and then
we did the Taliban's job for them.
we're also importing some Afghan people, which I don't mind if they're legitimately, they need asylum or whatever. But then you have this. There's up to 100 Afghan evacuees flown out of war-torn Kabul are on an intelligence agency's watch list.
You don't say. Well,
And guess where they flew to?
where?
Here. They're opening up, they're going to be opening up, what do you call it, old military bases to house these
incredible.
people. And I can't help but think, we have a lot of ex-military vets that are homeless in this country.
Yeah, well, fuck them.
Why couldn't we have been using that?
Fuck them. That doesn't fit the narrative. That doesn't help the fucking political class get reelected. They can't say, I help these fucking homeless people. Who gives a fuck about that? I brought the Afghans over, guys.
Well,
now, right? I knew where you were going with this shit. You think, would anybody trust this current administration to vet any foreigners coming in? Hell,
Absolutely not.
absolutely not. They said, you know what? I have a half-heartedly think that they expected this outcome, and not only expected it, but wanted it. So it just fits their narrative perfectly. Look, we are bringing all these, helpless women and children over to this country. Well, guess what? Some of them are gonna come over here really fucking pissed at us, and look, now we get another 9/11. Ooh.
Well,
go,
I'm always
folks.
waiting for the bad news, and
'Cause it's
in
coming.
life, and I'm almost becoming a conspiracy theorist now.
Feels good, doesn't it?
In my mind, I haven't put them out there yet, but it seems like there's some other game plan here. There has to be some other game plan, and of course now, like you said earlier, they're blowing up ISIS-K. What the hell is that? ISIS-K?
It sounds like an enemy from the fucking Powerpuff Girls.
It makes me think so. What is that? Special K. That's cereal. It makes me think of that cereal, Special K. It's like ISIS-K. They're special. They're more special than ISIS. It just seems like there's there's another game plan here. There's something to this that we're not seeing that they're not talking about.
Well, the media as well as politicians understand that you can't get anything done without having a clear-cut enemy. And we haven't had one in a little while. They kind of tried the Russian enemy, and everyone's like, "Fuck you." Kind of tried, the China enemy, "Fuck you." And now they're trying ISIS-K, the special edition ISIS. And it's probably not going to work. I think the American people are just tired of hearing about terrorists and ISIS, and now ISIS-K. But we'll see what happens. We'll see if it gains traction. If enough people get scared and concerned enough, so it trends on Twitter, so it trends on Facebook, because that's all they care about. It really is.
Just leave them. Just keep them out of the country.
Did you just say leave people alone?
Well,
That's the least American thing you've ever said, Dave. And quite frankly, I don't appreciate it.
Back before Pearl Harbor, we used to be we sort of isolationist, run our own
To a
little
degree,
to a degree. And even while the Nazis were starting to tear ass across Europe, we didn't get involved. We did help England. We helped some of the people that I guess were our allies or whatever. But we didn't get involved, and we only got involved once we got attacked, and then that's when kind of things changed. But you were talking about having an actual person, an enemy. Mm-hmm. Well, The thing is, I don't think there's actually been a declaration of war since World War II. They've all been like the Korean War.
What about Vietnam? Did we have one
Nope,
for that?
nope,
Did we not?
Nope,
Okay.
nope. Korean War was considered a police action with people and with the army.
Police action with F-16s.
There hasn't been actually a declaration of war, and I don't know who it was. I can't remember the guy's name, but he's like a military, analyst guy, and he was talking about this, and he said that you don't. We haven't had a declaration of war. If we're going to go to war, we need to have a declaration of war. He's actually a military, ex-military guy, veteran. And he said, you got to have a clear and concise plan of what the end game is. And, it's kind of like the first, when Iraq invaded Kuwait, and we went in to help free the Kuwaiti people. And as the Iraqi army was like, fuck this, we're out of here, they were heading down, I actually think it's called Highway 80. I'm not sure.
Okay.
But it goes between Kuwait and it goes
That's
into,
a very American named highway.
Yeah, it goes up to the border of, but it also got known as the Highway of Death. Because apparently, as they were retreating, and this is the military I grew up with, I can't remember who the general was, but they, the guy who was in charge, and someone said, hey, they're retreating. What do you want us to do? And he says, take them out.
Yeah.
So they took them out, and, and it got the nickname Highway of Death because there's a lot of ins and outs. It's kind of like 75 between Georgia and Florida.
People lose their lives every day out there, but it's a necessary loss. Now, Dave, you mentioned Pearl Harbor and the term conspiracy theory in this episode so far.
Oh,
so I'd like to add those two terms
tell me
together.
Pearl Harbor didn't happen.
No. I'm telling you, the Americans knew that Pearl Harbor was going to happen. They didn't stop it. Because they knew.
You mean
we knew we needed a really good reason to get into World War II, and that was it.
You mean like the way our government runs shit today?
Yeah.
Really?
It's a weird thing. It's like this thing called like a pattern where it keeps coming up. I don't know.
In the end,
it's above my pay grade.
We did kick their ass in the end, though, so we're good.
You know about oh, we're going. Folks, we had this script, and I'm saying fuck it. You ever heard of Operation Paperclip, Dave? You want to pull this up on Wikipedia for me? You ever heard of this? Have you heard of? Don't laugh. It's got a Wikipedia page. It's real. Have you heard of this?
Kind of a dumb name.
Oh, well, when you hear about it, baby, you're not going to be thinking it's so fucking dumb.
Operation Paperclip.
So while Dave's pulling it up, I'm going to give.
Oh, there's the Wikipedia.
Now, yeah, there's the swastika. Don't worry about it. What happened? Obviously,
this is Operation Paperclip.
Go ahead,
Kyle, talk about.
We won World War II, and we knew the Germans' level of engineering was so far above ours and any other countries for that matter.
Oh, yeah.
It was on a
BMWs,
different
right.
fucking planet, and we can get to that too. But for right now, we knew their advancements were incredible, and we knew we wanted those. So America, and I believe Russia and a few, and I think Britain got some too. We captured basically high-level Nazi researchers and scientists and said, hey, guys, that whole war thing, good fight. You guys did your best. You're either going to come work for us or we're going to kill you. And the Nazis are pretty smart. They said, well, for speaking the English. Okay. So,
holy shit, this is actually a real thing. I mean, it's on Wikipedia. I don't know how legit Wikipedia is. But
look, just because I made the article in my car before I walked in the studio doesn't matter. No, but in all seriousness, we threatened the Nazi researchers basically saying, hey, if you don't come work for us, we'll kill you. And it was a pretty good offer.
Who are these
great
guys?
Benefits, good research.
Oh, no, look, there's John F. Kennedy.
Yeah.
What is this? Kurt H. Dubas, a former V-2 rocket scientist. Which one is he? Wow.
Now listen.
All right.
Now listen.
It's legit.
The first 6 NASA missions were run by Nazis.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
From the Nazis we captured from Operation Paperclip.
Really?
Think about that.
Wow.
And
we're going down a rabbit hole here.
Okay. I'm gonna go one step deep, 2 steps deeper. One first. It's a stair step. It's not a slip and slide. Okay. A lot of the Nazis went to South America to flee. Okay, that's just
The boys from Brazil. Good movie.
It's you go to these. They still have these villages in South America. They're speaking German, and you're like, what the fuck? It's bizarre.
Well, they had a lot of what do you call it? They had a huge. That's why a lot of them went there because they
were sympathetic to their cause.
They were already German like expats there.
Yes.
That were living there. And have you ever seen The Boys from Brazil? The
No,
movie?
I've heard about it.
It's about cloning Hitler. And it's brilliant because they basically they can't just clone Hitler. So they have like a bunch of little Hitlers. They're all like about 12 or 13 years old running around, all over the place, United States. And
causing a ruckus.
But they can't just clone him. They have to create the environment in which Hitler grew up in, which means an abusive father and a subservient mother.
To try to replicate the upbringing.
To try and replicate the upbringing.
And they keep shoving
what
paintbrushes in his fucking face, and he's like, "I do not want to paint, Mamba. I do not want to paint. You paint."
It's a really old movie, but it's actually a really good movie if you ever want to watch.
So here's my last thing about this today. Here's the last level I want to get into. Now this is a complete like theory. This is we don't have enough DMT in this fucking studio. We have to call Joe Rogan to talk about this shit. But basically, a lot of people think that one of the reasons why the Germans had such crazy, engineering and were so advanced. Basically, some people have said like they would get high-ranking Nazi officials, get them fucked up on DMT, like fucked up. They would go to the fucking next dimension, talk to these spirit beings, and they would basically give them all these fucking ideas. And when they would, fucking get sober, they would just be writing down all this fucking ideas and engineering shit. And then they give it to the scientists. And whoa, holy fucking shit. It worked.
Okay, we're moving on, Kyle.
Thank you. I didn't want to talk about that. I couldn't stop. I channeled my Alex Jones. It just happened. I couldn't stop.
Yeah. Okay, you're scaring me. So let's go back to the whole Biden administration. By the way, we're calling it batter. That's B period A period D period
Biden
R
administration
period
damage report.
The Biden administration damage report.
Dun 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 dun.
I need to create a bump for that. Peter Ducey, he totally breaks Biden.
I feel bad for him. I love the guy. He's got a crappy last name.
Ducey? That's a fucking kick-ass name.
Is it? Oh, I'm sure he thought sure he thought it was awesome in 6th grade. Yeah.
No, at least it doesn't have like a letter that doesn't get used, like Pasaki. I will call her Pasaki because I'm not ignoring the P in things. Pasaki, not Saki, whatever. I'm going to play this clip for you because this just kind of encapsulates everything going on.
I watched this, ladies and gentlemen, I watched this clip live, and my jaw dropped when I saw what Joe did.
Yeah, here we go.
Take the one question from the most interesting guy that I know in the press. Thank you, Mr. President. That's you.
Mr. President, there had not been a U.S. service member killed in combat in Afghanistan since February of 2020. You set a deadline, you pulled troops out, you sent troops back in, and now 12 Marines are dead. You said the buck stops with you.
Risen, folks.
Do you bear any responsibility for the way that things have unfolded in the last 2 weeks?
I bear responsibility for fundamentally all that's happened of late. But here's the deal. I wish you'd one day say these things. You know as well as I do that the former president made a deal with the Taliban.
He blaming Trump.
That's what he does best,
yeah.
right?
Well, the deal with the Taliban apparently was, hey, you know what? You guys got to fucking follow this shit or I'm going to blow you up.
Yes.
That was pretty simple, but it goes on and it gets better.
That he would get all American forces out of Afghanistan by May 1. In return, the commitment was made, and that was a year before. In return, he was given a commitment that the Taliban would continue to attack others, but would not attack any American forces. Remember that? I'm being serious.
I'm being serious, Kyle.
I'm asking you a question.
Because
I'm a reporter now.
Oh, my God.
No, wait a minute. I'm asking you a question.
Come on, man. Come on, man.
What?
And there it is. That is the leader of the free world people. Thank you very much.
His handlers knew, man, we have to keep this under 30 minutes. His battery's low. He's going to go into sleep mode. We'll be fucked. And they're, damn it, Dorsey, you asked too much.
They're going, Ducey. Why the hell did he call on Ducey? What the hell? Why is he calling this guy? We gave him a list. Oh, and that's the other thing is, I don't have the clip of it, but he gave him a list that said, I have a list of people to call, and the first person I'm supposed to call is this nice girl over at NBC or whatever it was.
His similar phrasing to what he used was, this is the list they gave me that they want me to call on.
Yeah.
Fuck you. You're the president. You could turn to the janitor and say, how do you think I'm doing right now, sir?
I want to know who's making the list. I want to know.
Jen Psaki's unpaid intern.
Who's behind the scenes pulling the puppet strings? Because somebody's fucking pulling them. You don't do that. Trump would come up there and he'd be all leaning into the desk and all very cocky and arrogant, and it would be like he didn't give a shit, and he would say no, you're wrong.
Fake news, you're wrong. CNN, you've been very rude to me. I will not take questions from you. Newsmax. Now I want to, ladies and gentlemen, look at the president's expression. That's how I look when I eat Moe's.
But better yet, look at the expression on the three people sitting down in front of Peter Ducey there. They don't know what to do.
They look like they want to fucking take
some
their
of these
mask
people,
off.
I don't know.
Which I don't believe they've probably been on them
The chick
hours.
down below is kind of hot, but she's got a mask on, so it's really hard to tell. But the other those three people, they kind of look like maybe they belong to NPR or MSNBC or whatever the other CNN.
NBC,
could
ABC,
be CNN.
all that bullshit.
But I got nothing, man. I mean, okay, let's just watch the rest of it. It's painful.
That people have an issue with pulling out of Afghanistan or just the way that things have happened.
I think they have an issue
Oh, he's up.
that
They plugged him in.
are like to get hurt. Some, as we've seen,
They
have
replaced his
killed,
bather.
And that it is messy.
They had a guy in a Tesla Polo
The
run up
reason
with a
why,
fucking black box
whether
and
my
fucking shove it.
friend will acknowledge it, or has reported it. The reason why there were no attacks on Americans, as you said,
Go ahead and get the
from
nose pick
date
in.
until I came into office, was because the commitment was made
Just say it.
by President Trump. I will be out by May 1st. In the meantime,
And that's absolutely
you
not
agree
true.
not to attack any Americans. That was the deal. That's why no American was attacked.
Now,
No,
Dave.
the reason no American was attacked is because they knew Trump, they didn't know what the fuck
They
Trump,
perceived-
they didn't know what Trump was going to do. He's a lot like Ronald Reagan and I think it was Gorbachev back when I grew up when I was a kid, and they kind of that's the reason Reagan got the wall to fall and got Gorbachev to do all the shit that he was doing or whoever it was. They didn't know what the hell Reagan was going to do because he was kind of spastic and he wasn't, he was a politician, but he was also an actor, and he wasn't like the typical career politician like Joe Potato Head Biden is right here.
And I think it comes down to if one country views the leader of another as unthreatening and that leader doesn't demand respect, why would the other country care about anything they do?
Yeah.
Seriously, folks. Come on, man. Now, folks, listen up. The Taliban isn't sitting there saying, you know what?
Come on, man.
United States, they've accomplished so much in their few hundred years. Oh my God, all these achievements. No, they're saying, fuck them. They've been in our country for over 20 years. They've caused all this chaos. Let's fuck them up.
Yeah.
Now, one consequence of Joe really fucking this shit up, interestingly, has been Trump's been kind of making the rounds. I've listened to him on Newsmax. He's been putting out some video clips, and it's a very 2016 Trump. It's not 2020 Trump. It's not 2019 Trump. He has the same mannerisms, the same red pill energy as 2016. And Joe better be fucking careful if he wants another fucking 4 years at the end of this 3 years, because he's ramping Trump up. And Trump's already having rallies, folks.
Joe Biden ain't going to make it to the end of the year. I don't think he's... 2020, what, 2024? Is that what it is? Yeah, it's not going to happen. And unfortunately, we'll have to deal with Kamala Harris. Because right now, they're talking about impeachment.
Yeah.
With him.
It won't happen.
Yeah, it won't happen. I mean,
right now, at least.
We can play the rest of this, or we
play it.
Could I just take a nap while we're doing this?
You know what? Before you get to the end of the clip, I want people to really pay attention. Hopefully, you clip to the very end. Why, when you watch him walk away, look at how lethargic he is, folks.
Yeah.
Oh my God, he walks away like how you walk when you wake up at 3 a.m. and you got to go take a piss, and you walk like a fucking zombie. Same thing. But play the clip.
A few days ago, you said you squarely stand by your decision.
I don't think I have the whole clip.
Yes, I do. Because look at it this way, folks. And I have another meeting for real.
I got something more important to do.
For real.
I'm not lying to you. I've never lied to you.
Where we'd be if I had indicated on May the 1st I was not going to renegotiate a
Power levels
evacuation
low.
date.
Power
We were
levels
gonna stay
fading.
there. I'd have only one alternative: pour thousands of more troops back into Afghanistan
So we're right back
to
where we
fight
started
a war
with dead Americans.
that we had already won relative to.
The thing is, we were doing just fine, because what we were doing was we were supporting the Afghan army.
Yes, that's
And we were giving them, air support, with our drones and our planes and all the other shit we were doing. We were giving them, equipment. We were apparently paying them out of taxpayer money, I guess. I don't know.
Right?
I don't know how that works, but we were giving them support. So really, he blamed. Remember, after the fall of Afghanistan,
Which happened last week.
last week. He blamed the Afghan army. No, if you're not fucking getting paid, you're like, you know what? These motherfuckers, they behead people on video.
Yeah.
I'm not sticking around for this.
Yeah, we can
and
play some of
apparently,
those fucking clips.
we'll play the rest of the video here in a minute. But I'm gonna. Apparently, there was some of the special forces, the best of the Afghans, the actual ones that actually took their shit seriously. They fought to the last bullet, and guess what? They got killed.
Yeah.
They surrendered, and the Taliban just said, "Yeah, fuck it, you're done."
Yeah.
Because see that's the thing. The Taliban cannot have a bigger alpha, in their midst. They can't.
Sure.
They can't have that. They got to have weak people. And I'm going to go off on a tangent here, but watching these videos of it's so weird that people are tweeting from Afghanistan, but
Dude, you can
like the Afghan people are tweeting from Afghanistan.
Yeah.
But I'm watching it and I'm going, I see these people going through they're driving their car through the Taliban checkpoint. And I'm thinking to myself, I don't know, man. If this is going to be my life, I'm going to go out and I'm going to take a couple of these guys with me and just floor it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or I'm going to go find myself one of those big Humvees and run everybody over. I mean, because they may have guns, but I guarantee that, a Humvee is going to hurt you pretty bad. But here, we'll continue playing this because we have to.
Why the reason we went in the first place. I have never been of the view that we should be sacrificing American lives to try to establish a democratic government in Afghanistan,
You're a fucking liar.
a country that has never once in its entire history been a united country
Which is true.
and is made up, I don't mean this in a derogatory, made up of different tribes
How's that
who
derogatory?
have never, ever
they're
gotten along
woke.
with one another.
So, yeah, there you go.
Wow. Absolutely.
Nothing else to say.
Can you what I want people to think about? Imagine you work for the administration, but you're the camera guy. You're the guy sitting with the big TV camera, and you're just like, listen to this. What the fuck is this guy talking about? He's like, he's looking at his friend, Bill. Is this going to be how this is going to be for the next 4 years? Yeah, I guess
they're just saying I want to keep my job. I want to keep my job. I want to keep my job. Because when you have a job like that, you tend to kind of put up with whatever bullshit you got. And those guys may make pretty good money, I guess.
I'm sure they
nice
do.
Little salary. The people in the administration though, the face of it, like the Jen Psaki, and General Milley, all those people got to be going, fuck. I'm so done right now.
Poor Jen, God, I bet she just drinks herself to sleep every fucking night. Just How did I get myself in this mess? Now, I want to ask you a question, Dave. The supposed date that everything's like we're going to be fully out of Afghanistan, August 31st. What's the date right now? Look at the computer. I want to 28.
It's the 28th. That's Tuesday, I do believe.
You think that's going to fucking happen? And let me tell you this, Biden. Every news agency is waiting for that day. They've already typed up their stories about how you fucked that up too. That's coming. I guarantee it. Easily. Easy prediction. You think he's gonna make it, Dave?
No, they're not gonna make it.
Do you not have faith?
You've got a bunch of different people out there, organizations, I guess I should say, like the Nazarene Fund. We talked about that
Glenn Beck,
last week. Glenn Beck, he's getting people out. There's the I don't know what to call it. They're Mighty Oaks or Oak something, run by an ex-military guy. They're getting people out. There's all these different people that are doing things, whatever they can do. And it's pretty fucking sad when you've got everyday citizens. Well, not every day, but I mean, they're
privileged
they're
citizens.
successful.
Yeah,
They're
privileged and
people.
successful people
They
with
have
money.
the means and they have the pull to do it. They're doing a better job than our fucking State Department is. So whatever. It's but the good thing is, Sandy Cortez. Oh, in case you don't know, that was actually her name in high school. AOC.
Sandy,
yeah. Apparently she went by Sandy in high school, from what I understand, and she is, she's.
Sorry.
She says we need to have reparations for what we have done.
To carry out and in order to make good on the role that we have played in this violence, we have a responsibility to make a home for the people whose lives have been upended by interventionist U.S. foreign policy. Yeah. And so as a result, I'm proud to have co-led a letter with Representative Barbara Lee.
This is like that woman you date. Yeah, she's kind of hot, but she's exhausting.
Their refugee quotas to make it no less than 200,000.
So this goes out to every young man listening right now. Don't stick your dick in crazy. Please don't. Don't do it to yourself. It's not worth it, bro. Just go home.
No.
Now, so maybe she forgot. I don't know. She's so young. Maybe she just doesn't remember. The reason why we're in fucking Afghanistan, 9/11, they attacked us. So this whole American interventionist thing.
Oh, wait. How old
That's
is
how
she?
that fuck. She's young.
Hold on a second.
Late 30s.
Can I type Sandy Cortez? Will that come up? Let me just do AOC.
It'll come up with pictures from a yearbook with like braces and glasses.
Where's her Wiki?
Top right.
Where's her Wikipedia? Oh, right here.
Yeah.
She's 31 years old.
Yeah, totally.
So it was 20 years ago that we went into Afghanistan. She was 10.
She should have been up to date on.
She was 10 and still being known as Sandy Cortez, because that's what I'm going to call her, because
Sandy.
it's too much of a mouthful to say Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
Well, I'm not going to play into the fucking narrative that she's a brand. Like, I'm an influencer.
She's absolutely a brand, because that's exactly what politics has become, is an entire brand.
Yep.
With the younger generation, there are some good politicians out there. There are some old politicians. Like, there's some old politicians like Nancy Pelosi, and they need to go away. But there are some, and there are some younger politicians who aren't as fucked up as the rest of them, but like her and the squad, the squad. Let me get their names here. Let me type in the squad, because it's become it's become increasingly
apparent to me that politics is like a broken Venn diagram. On one circle, you basically have like old, and then on the left you have good, and the two circles just never overlap. There's no overlap.
There's here I finally found it. Oh God,
pull that up for the viewers.
Holy crap! Let me
pull it over.
Oh my I can't pull it over. Let me just open. Oh God, there's Sandy Cortez. There's Ilhan.
You better not.
I allegedly married my brother to get into the United States. Omar. Rashid. Oh yeah, this is the chick that she was rallying for. What do you call it?
Probably trannies or something.
No. The rent moratorium.
Oh, which the Supreme Court? Yeah, we'll talk about that later, folks. Yeah,
she.
Fuck her.
I think it was her and Cori Bush.
Okay.
I think it was the two of them. They were, what do you call it? They rent properties to people, and they collected between $15,000 and $50,000.
That's weird.
Yeah, isn't that
now
weird?
go to that evil.
Oh God, who is that?
That looks like.
It's like a black Sinead O'Connor.
Oh my God.
Google that
What
for all
happened?
the younger viewers.
What
there.
happened to you, lady?
I don't know, shit.
Do you just consistently have cancer?
Oh wait, and look at this. They went. You know what? We can't just.
We gotta have a guy.
We can't just be fine.
But he's gonna be black and old and
Who is this?
and fucking blind.
Jamal Anthony Bowman.
Jamal.
I'm sure. You know what? They're all really. Yeah. I'm sure they're all very nice people.
Are they?
But you know, the shit that comes out of their mouths, I just can't fucking deal with it.